When we talk about the future of manufacturing, it's already a foregone conclusion at this point what that is going to look like. Robots. Lots and lots of robots. Automation is essential to a sustainable future. There's just no way around it. Elon Musk knows that, and that's why he's been obsessed with this idea of a machine that builds the machine for years now. So it's really no coincidence that in the most recent demonstration video of Elon's humanoid Tesla bot, we literally saw one robot building another. This is Musk's endgame. This is just a tiny glimpse into a future of infinite potential. Let's see where that goes. The most notable moments of Tesla's recent Investor Day presentation was when Elon Musk returned to the stage specifically to give an update on the Tesla bot. It was the only time during the 3-hour event that Elon appeared solo without any other Tesla staff joining him. This further drives home the point that the Tesla bot is a passion project for Elon. He is the one steering the ship. What we saw was a significantly more capable version of the Optimus prototype. We've seen one of these models before. It was on stage at Tesla AI Day in 2022, but at the time it couldn't even stand on its own. The prototype had to be wheeled out on a dolly, and it just kind of feebly moved its arms and legs a little bit. Not particularly impressive. 6 months later, and not only can that same robot walk, but it can also pick stuff up with fully humanoid 5-finger hands, including high-precision movements like pinching a nut between 2 fingers and then fastening it with an electric wrench. It's not doing parkour or anything crazy like that, but it is using tools, and realistically, that's an even more fascinating thing for a robot to do. Tesla just showed us a practical, real-world use case for a humanoid robot, a machine building a machine. Elon points out that the difference between the Tesla bot and all of the other androids that we've seen before is the brain, the artificial intelligence that is driving these robots. Tesla is a global leader in real-world artificial intelligence. They've made a computer brain that can drive a car, which you can essentially think of as a robot on wheels. And they are just porting over that same technology to a robot on legs. Because it's not really that helpful to have a humanoid robot if you need a program to teach each individual action. Either you'd be limited to a bunch of predefined movements, or you'd need to be a coding expert to actually make good use of the bot. In Elon's mind, you can just give your Tesla bot simple instructions, either showing it what to do or even just telling the robot what you need, and it will solve the problem autonomously. And the other difference maker for the Tesla bot will be the scale of manufacturing. Elon says that Tesla has already vertically integrated the design of their current Optimus prototype. Every robotic actuator was designed by Tesla's own powertrain engineers, the same people who built the Model S Plaid motor. The computer electronics and battery system are all Tesla designs as well. So once they start building these things, they're planning to build a lot of robots. Most people still don't grasp this. They think it's a big novelty, but Elon is talking about a future where the number of robots is greater than the number of human beings. And the reason that Elon believes this is because he knows that the more Tesla bots he builds, the more capacity he will have to build additional Tesla bots. That little scene of the bot attaching the arm onto another bot wasn't just a techno demo. That was literally putting it right out there in the open. When you look at a Tesla bot, you are looking at the future of Tesla's workforce. Now, obviously, visions of the future like that will strike a nerve with a pretty large number of people. They're afraid that robots will take their jobs and people will be left behind. But another way to look at it would be that we actually need robots in order to save those same jobs. Let's think about Tesla's new plan for a gigafactory in Nuevo Leon, Mexico. This is the gigafactory to end all gigafactories, double the footprint of Giga Texas, which is already one of the largest buildings on Earth. This is the location where Tesla will build its next generation affordable vehicle platform, which is going to reach over 1 million units per year in production from this factory alone. And according to a recent new report, Tesla is already aiming to build 4 million of these cars annually across multiple factories around the world. That will be in addition to the S3, X, and Y, plus the Semi, Cybertruck, and Robovan until Tesla is reaching a volume of 20 million units per year by the end of this decade. That is huge. We really need to take a moment to appreciate the gravity of that number. In 2022, Toyota built 8 million cars, General Motors made 6 million, Ford 4 million. Tesla has set their goal at being larger than all of these automakers combined. Which begs the question, is it even possible to do all of that without automation? Absolutely not. This dream of massive expansion would never even exist if Tesla didn't know right now that they could automate the majority of the work that will need to be done. They'll still employ people, obviously, but those future jobs will only arrive because the robots came first. We know that the Tesla Gigafactories are already full of robots and automated machines. The giant arms, the Gigapress, the stamping and painting lines, but the limiting factor to all of these machines is that they are all stationary, specialized unitaskers. Each machine is only capable of doing one job. You can't have a fully automated production line where each individual task is completed by one individual machine. It's just too many machines. They'd take up too much space, they'd use up too many resources. You can't truly optimize for automation without versatile, mobile, multitasking robots, which again is exactly the thing that Elon Musk is building. This isn't some coded message, it's all right there out in the open. And this also ties into Elon's primary fear of population decline, which he's also been very public about. Here's the deal. Our economy is built on the necessity for infinite growth. Our collective demand for stuff needs to perpetually increase year over year. And that means our capacity to produce stuff needs to also increase in step with that demand. If either of these two factors ever slow down or fail to grow, then we have an almost instantaneous economic crisis. It's not ideal. We're like Keanu Reeves driving the bus in Speed. It doesn't matter how badly we might want to get off this ride. If we slow down, we explode. The problem that's already started right now, and will only get worse with time, is that our demand for new stuff is rising at a faster rate than our supply of human beings to do the jobs that make the stuff for us to consume. We're not making babies anymore, and that's my bad. I'm one of those childless 30-somethings that are ruining everything. I'll shoulder some of that blame. But we do need something to make up for my lack of procreation, because if productivity or GDP ever declines, even for a short period of time, 6 months to a year, we end up in a recession, something that we're all pretty familiar with by now, going on our second time in less than 20 years. But if productivity continues to shrink, then we eventually end up in a depression. And that's something we haven't had in a really long time. But from what I've read, it was pretty awful. And if we can't pull out of a depression, then I don't even know what comes next. But I think the word could be apocalypse. So people question why Tesla would build a humanoid robot. Isn't there something better to design? Well, no, not really. It took nature and evolution 1 billion years to arrive at the human being as the dominant species on Earth. We are definitely not the strongest or the fastest animal. We might not even be the smartest, it's hard to tell sometimes, but we are by far the most versatile and broadly capable design in the known universe. So we might as well just copy that. And it means that we now have an economic system where a person and a robot are directly equatable. One robot equals X quantity of human labor potential. Remember that we don't need to replace human labor, we need to increase it. So if we can insert these robots directly into an existing workforce, then we increase productivity without having to make any other changes to the way a company operates. Productivity is the solution to inflation. If the supply of stuff increases, then the prices will decrease. Cheaper stuff means people want to consume more. As long as we can continue to increase productivity to meet that demand without increasing cost, then we break the cycle of inflation and deflation. This is the problem that has bled the North American manufacturing industry dry over the past decades. Companies could not sustain their business model without either increasing productivity or decreasing cost, and that led them to pack up and move their manufacturing operations to other places in the world where operating costs are lower. The only way to stop this trend and maintain what little domestic manufacturing we have left, or ever dream of growing it someday back to what we used to have in the mid-20th century, we do that through automation. Tesla is building the model right now for how to achieve this. What they are about to do at Giga Mexico is something that can be replicated by any manufacturing corporation anywhere in the world. Automated production with an autonomous robotic workforce. It will be replicated because it has to be. There's no other way to keep up with our necessity for continuous growth that doesn't involve a race to the bottom that ends in total disaster for everyone. And if you still don't believe that, then consider the self-checkout line at your local grocery store. People love to hate on these things. They don't like to do work for free that used to be done for them. But think about what your grocery store experience would be like right now without that self-checkout. It's not like they would just hire more cashiers. There are no more cashiers. There's no one out there who wants to work at a grocery store but is not being hired. They are not lacking qualifications. There are no qualifications. If not for that self-checkout, you would be waiting half an hour in line every time you try and leave the grocery store. And that is not sustainable. The grocery industry would descend into chaos in a matter of months, and society would go along with it. So, we need robots, for better or worse. There's just no getting around it. So, we might as well meet them head on. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more